Hi, all. Hi, Carolyn, Claudia. How's everyone doing today? Let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm just gonna maybe wait a minute to let some more people hop on and join us. I'm gonna open our little chat and find out where everyone's joining in from. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm the Director of Brand Partnerships at Wanderful. I'm very excited for our chat today. Let's see, I'm tuning in from Bogota, Colombia. I see we have Claudia joining us from Orlando. I see Carolyn typing. Hopefully it's nice and sunny where you are. Oh, we got Washington, D.C. Cindy's joining us from the Jersey Shore. It's a pretty sunny day here in Bogota today. It's officially into the rainy season, so but today we've got good weather. Hopefully no rain. Let's see. Oh, we've got another hello, my beautiful sisters from Maryland. Wonderful. Okay, great. So I want to welcome everyone to the live stream today. This is going to be recorded, so in case, I'm sure there's many people in the community who want to hear all about our discussion today but aren't able to join in person, so we will have a recording of this. But today we're going to be talking about the future of wellness tourism with the WITT team. So WITT stands for Wellness and Travel and Tourism, and I am going to go ahead and invite our speakers on today from the WITT team who are going to tell us what's going on in the wellness tourism industry, and I think we're going to learn a lot from them. I know for me, this is a really exciting topic. I love wellness initiatives. I love travel. So together, it's something Ellen, can you tell me what you mean by sound? Can everybody hear me? Okay. If you want to give me like a thumbs up in the chat, want to make sure I'm okay. Holly's telling me I can hear you. Great. So anyways, yeah, very excited to chat with the WITT team today, really learn more about what's going on in the wellness tourism industry and kind of like where do we fit in as travelers, some of you being maybe content creators, etc. So let me go ahead and invite some of our guests. Just give me 1 second. And we will get Jennifer and Oxana into the event. And thanks again for everybody tuning in today. Just give them a minute to hop on and we'll dive right in. Let's see. Jennifer, Oxana, did you get those requests? Let's see. There we go.
Hello. Hi, all. Excited to be here.
Very excited to have you. Very excited for our chat. Is Oxana going to be joining us as well?
Yes, she said she's in, so hopefully she has gotten your invite and is just trying to get in with the it took me a second. Sorry, my computer wanted to need to do a couple things. So hopefully she is joining.
No worries. Well, I guess while we're waiting for her to jump on, I'd love for you to give a little intro, who you are, kind of your role at WITT, and yeah, we can kind of go from there.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Jennifer Lack, and I apologize, I misspelled my name so quickly typing in the chat. But I am the Director of Training and Education for WITT. Really excited to be here. I have been in the spa and wellness industry for over 20 years, mainly on the operational side and working with teams. I've opened spas and resorts and hotels all over the country, and I was a director in St. Croix and in Australia and Hayman Island, and so I've done a bit of travel myself as well. But I will say, with the wellness standards that currently exist, there really aren't any, and WITT has introduced this extensive list of standards, and we're going to talk more about that today. And I really think it's going to bring some authenticity to the wellness experience. So really excited to be here.
Well, I'm definitely very much looking forward to learning more about what you have going on at WITT. Basically everything you just said, what does that mean in real time, in the real world? Let me just check here. I see that Oxana's having a little bit of trouble getting in. Jennifer, are you able to speak to when you accepted the invite, where you did that, just so we can make sure she jumps on?
Yes, well, it popped up for me in the live. So I was in here and it popped up and invited me as a speaker.
All right, let me just try again. I just want to make sure she's involved in the conversation. So let me try to invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody, we're just, technical stuff. Always technical glitches, and if it doesn't work out, we'll just dive right in.
Maybe, Cindy is here, so she may even be able to jump in and help us a little bit. I know she was joining, not sure, but I'm going to text her right now just in case.
Okay, I believe she's on, because I just invited both of them and I got one decline, so I'm assuming that's Cindy who's declining the invitation. But yeah, Oxana, if you're listening, it should just pop up and you should just be able to accept it. But maybe we just, while maybe she figures out how to accept that invite, we can kind of just dive into the conversation. So as I was saying, I love wellness travel. In fact, I met Cindy at the Travel and Adventure Show in New York, and she was asking me on a live video, what does wellness travel, wellness tourism mean to you? And we had a little conversation about it. And I've never, I have my own perception, but I'm like, what actually is it? So I'd love to have you tell us like a little bit more about the wellness tourism industry. Like, what is it? What does that mean to you?
Right. So having been in this industry for so long, I've actually seen the evolution of where and certainly it started long before I got into it, but we have certainly seen over the years, there was a focus on spa, and, spas were popping up, and, there were day spas everywhere, but then they started popping up in hotels and resorts. And of course you had your properties that were benchmarked, like your canyon ranches, and that really kind of started that whole wellness retreat where you're spending a full week there at least, and you're getting everything covered. And then once people started to realize, oh, there's an opportunity to get pieces of that within the hotel industry, spas started making their move. And the focus was really on massage and facial and coming in and booking a service, and taking some time out for yourself. And then as things started to evolve, and I'm, going to jump a little further, COVID really did have an impact overall on, of course, how people focus on their health and well-being, and then also how they travel. So, after that happened, more and more people, I think, started to focus and expect more from their experience while traveling. Can they, get to ensure that they have options for healthy eating while on the road? Will they be able to continue the move movement programs that they started, whether it's fitness classes or outdoor hiking, things of that nature. So now when people are going, they're not just expecting to go in and potentially get a, spa service. They really want something more that really covers the entire hotel experience, the whole entire travel experience. And that, comes from top to bottom, really. And we at WITT look at, well, how do we ensure properties are, allowing access or delivering access to what some of our pillars are: holistic healing, nature, movement. What is the programming? Are there yoga, Pilates, and various, HIIT classes or fitness classes offered? Are there outdoor adventure activities? Are there, what are all the different options, and how do they expand throughout the entire experience and stay, not just in the spa? We're talking about everywhere on the property. So that's how we started to look at what needs to be done to also ensure a true wellness experience, because, and I'll let you jump in here. I just kind of talked quite a bit there.
No, that was great. And I was just going to ask you a little bit more about, it sounds like it's the evolution into a more holistic look at, what wellness is in travel, in tourism. And I guess my question for you is, I have noticed this is like a huge boom as of late. I'm seeing it kind of everywhere. Why do you think that is? And when was that shift?
As far as people wanting this across the board, you mean, within that experience?
That shift from the spa, people going in for the facial, the massage, and that was the idea of wellness, versus this shift into, actually, I'm looking for healthy eating options and access, access to outdoor activities or proximity to hiking trails, and just more, that more holistic view. When do you think that shift happened, and why do you think the industry is booming the way that it is?
I think more people have become focused on mindfulness and how to kind of focus that within their own lives day to day. And I think because of that, people have incorporated that into wanting that when they travel, because they don't just want to leave these routines behind. I think before, travel also had more of a focus on just getting away, escaping your day to day. And now people do want to carry that day to day of their routines that incorporate wellness into their travel. They don't want to lose that, because, if they're on a good path, you don't want to completely shift that because now you've gone on vacation. And I think too, there's an opportunity also to learn more and expand upon maybe what you've been learning in your local area. Maybe what those routines can be expanded upon at a retreat that specializes in very specific focuses, let's say Ayurveda. That's something that would be a deeper level, that people might want to go down that path and learn how to incorporate more of that into their well-being. I do think the shift happened when more people had time to focus, because they were mainly in their homes and not traveling when COVID happened. And then everything shifted, and people realized too, without having your health, you really don't have. That's the first and foremost, most important, I think, piece to wellness is ensuring that you are well. And we recognize too that wellness means something different to everyone, right? Someone may want to, go to a resort and get a full, experience of focusing on yoga every day and meditation, and they want quiet and, just a place to escape. While others may want that adventure, right? right, of going out and getting out into the nature that surrounds that area and what are the opportunities there. So we know that not every single person, you know, it's not a one size fits all. And I do believe the industry has shifted and is listening and understands that personalization is so important, especially with our new technology that has arisen with AI,
Right.
and you know, wanting more focused on what will work for them.
So where does WIT kind of come in with all of this? You know, I'd love for you to tell us more about WIT, what it is, like what you're trying to do with it. And, you know, you had mentioned those pillars of WIT.
Yes.
I'd love to hear more about that.
No, absolutely. So, so WIT was formed in order to create a set of standards that are based on wellness throughout a resort or hotel or retreat, right? And the 5 pillars are: 1 is healthy eating, 2, holistic healing, 3 is nature, 4 is movement, and 5 is local impact. So we developed standards around each of those pillars. And the goal is to create a certification for these hotels and resorts to truly be able to show how they stand out from other hotels and how they provide that wellness experience based on those pillars. And truly, you know, I have been a part of Forbes in the past and evaluated hotels for them. And while they do, and they're a wonderful company and they do have excellent standards, as we all know when we travel, what we can expect from a service point of view, and they do evaluate the spa. But this is something different because it gives the industry a benchmark to focus on for wellness, which really hasn't existed. And even, you know, knowing that wellness can be subjective, we understand that. However, the way we have set up these criteria and the evaluation process, we ensure that some of that subjectivity is taken into account when properties are audited. So it's not, you know, boom, 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 you're just checking off a list. We have our auditors going in and truly experiencing and rating based on how they feel within the properties. So really, WIT was started to, again, give the industry something to hold, you know, resorts and hotels accountable for, especially the marketing that goes on to encourage people to book a resort because it is a wellness, you know, or for wellness specifically. And
Right.
what we're finding is that it's really become like the gold standard in certification because, again, it's new to the industry, and it's so needed because we really have not had this, you know, over the years.
So the idea essentially is that these properties are applying for WIT certification. Is that correct? And so then
Yes.
once WIT goes through that process, you know, you experience it and you kind of give that seal of approval, that property is now able to put that certification on their website, on their marketing materials to say, hey, listen, we're WIT certified. We actually provide, you know, a wellness experience in these ways.
Yes. So it gives them the credibility and the opportunity to kind of showcase, right, where they excel and what they have brought to the wellness experience overall. And it again, we're very careful to audit based on the authentic offerings that they provide and ensuring that they are providing what they say they offer. So if they have earned that seal, you can know going in what to expect, and you can be sure that they're going to provide that experience. And again, that could be based on, some may excel in one pillar or 3 of the pillars versus the
Right.
others, but as long as the overall experience is providing you with options like healthy choices for eating, but we go into detail and depth on that. You know, we don't want, here's a good example, you know, of someone I was speaking with who had gone to a resort. It was an 800 room resort. And of course it said, you know, we have a full fitness center and programming and classes and all of this. And the fitness center was like the size of a small room, which clearly could not accommodate 800 rooms. So in that case, that's talking about, okay, they've said we have, you know, we have fitness to provide movement and opportunities, but there was nothing in the room. There was just one small fitness center, and there was no, you know, indication of where else they could go on the outside or how to, you know, get out in nature and actually be able to continue their movement routine.
So I've heard the expression or the saying like wellness washing, I think is what it is. Is that what is that kind of what that means?
Yes. I personally had an experience when I was working on a property, and I needed to go and also check out their classes. And so I was excited to take one of their, I think it was a core yoga class. And so I arrived and the instructor was there, and she asked me, "Oh, what class are you here for?" She didn't know what she was teaching or what she was supposed to be teaching. So that to me says, you know, you're showing that you have a full program, you know, list of classes and offerings, but your instructors may not be fully aligned. Are they licensed? That was concerning too. Just because when someone comes in and asks you as the guest, what class are you here for? It doesn't, you know, it certainly doesn't make you feel comfortable with moving forward.
Right. It kind of throws you off like, wait, I'm here for you to lead me in this experience.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I want to welcome Cindy onto the live. We've had some technical issues. We also have Oxana is technically on the live. It's just her video is off and sound is off, so there might be some technical
Can you hear me?
going on there.
Now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Hi. My apologies about this. Yes, technical issues.
Do you have a button where you can add there should be on the bottom a little video button so we can see you as well, but at least we can hear you.
I would love to do that, but my computer is not allowing me to do that right now.
No worries. We'll just listen to your beautiful voice. So can the two lovely ladies who have just joined us, would you please just give us a quick little intro on yourselves and your role at WITT, and then you can dive into the more questions I have for you. Cindy, do you want to start?
Certainly. I'm the Director of Marketing Communications and was with WITT when we launched to the consumer market. As Lauren mentioned, it was so awesome meeting you in person during the Travel and Adventure Show. That was really fun, meeting a lot of fun people and friendly people in the business. So very much involved on my side of it, letting people know who WITT is, what the value is in the certification, what to look for, guiding people through our different communications for them to learn about us and look at our directory in terms of what properties have already received the WITT certification and what areas they specialize in those different pillars that Jen mentioned a little bit earlier. So I'm a little bit more on the consumer side, although I do work between the consumers and the hotels as well. And I'm obviously getting involved with the courses. That's something else that we're offering. So my favorite thing is being able to touch all these different areas that we're talking about.
Love it.
And I'll introduce myself very quickly, even though I don't have a camera. My name is Oxana Spivey. I am the Vice President of Wellness Standards and Development for WITT. So I have been with the company from the beginning and played a very important, crucial part in developing standards, working with our standard advisory committee, working with professionals in the industries, and truly digging deep into what is out there needing for the travelers when they stay at hotels, resorts, inns. So that is kind of what I do. Of course, I do many other little things, but that's my role within WIT. And my background, gosh, I spent 20 years in hospitality industry on the build side. And personally, I've been in wellness for probably all of my life. I've used to dance professional. I'm a yoga teacher, certified life coach. So wellness is truly what I thrive in. And I decided to combine the hospitality with wellness and create something amazing with to deliver to travelers, because we have to. There is a demand and we cannot escape it. So
between the three of you, your extensive experience in this industry is impressive, and excited to kind of learn more from you about it. So I guess moving on to kind of my next question I have for you all is, so we've been talking about wellness tourism in general, who WIT is, what you're doing to kind of revolutionize the tourism industry in terms of wellness. Obviously, a lot of our community is mostly travelers, and then we also have, creators, travel entrepreneurs, where they're travel advisors, content creators, and influencers. So are you able to speak to it all? Like, what do you wish more wellness creators and just travel entrepreneurs in general knew about wellness tourism, or how they could better talk about it?
absolutely. Let me take this one, unless Jen wants to step in.
Please, Oxana, go for it.
I'll give her a little break. Yes. So absolutely, what we would love for pretty much the tourism community know that it's now more about the experience. For wellness creators, entrepreneurs, it needs to be more about the authenticity of the whole experience. It's not anymore just to add a class here of yoga, fitness here, maybe healthy menu, but it's all needs to be integrated into one holistic wellness experience by going a little bit deeper, incorporating thoughtful design, intentional programming, and deeper connection with culture, nature, and even experiencing some sustainability aspect of it. So pretty much kind of creating more immersive and transformative experience, whether it's for the creators, entrepreneurs, or even for travelers who want to know how to really experience wellness travel. So if I could kind of divide it into a more comprehensive way to explain it, then I would say for wellness tourism, need to focus on a holistic approach, right? Like I said, it needs to be body, mind, spirit, like everything needs to be incorporated into the experience. Then they need to be aware of kind of a sustainability, local impact matters that are important right now for travelers. They are really looking into where their money goes. They're just not looking at the location, but also, okay, is this property really supporting the local community? Is this property being in integrity with the land, with the sustainable practices? They're very much aware of that. So we would like for entrepreneurs and creators to be aware that that needs to be part of their experience as well, right? Then we also make sure that educational kind of aspect is brought on board, because a lot of travelers may not know some things as well. A lot of properties not know some things. We have to educate them now what wellness is. So I would say to highlight the holistic aspect, the authenticity aspect, the local impact, sustainability, inclusivity, that make sure that all of the experiences are offered to all types of people with all types of preferences, right? And of course, the WIT certification kind of serves that credible, source to go to, where professionals can really rely on that to say that this property is authentically certified by Wellness and Travel and Tourism, and with ease they can wrap their experience around it with certification seal. So that's kind of what I believe is the main key. I'm not sure if Jen has anything to add, but that kind of sums up what we wish for the entrepreneurs and wellness creators to pay attention to right now.
Okay. I mean, I love that, especially when you start talking about like the inclusivity of it, and it's for everyone. I think in the past, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the past, I think a lot of people approach like, you know, wellness tourism or just wellness in general as, oh, it's only for, you know, yogis and this very specific type of person, where in reality, this is something that every traveler, really anybody, can be involved in and be interested in.
And Lauren, if I could add one more thing to ping off of that, it's
Please.
also not as specific to a luxury sector, meaning like lots of dollars. So the accessibility and the individuality is across the board. You know, if you're somebody who likes to go camping and you really want a wellness trip around camping, we could probably help you out with that. And it's going to hit all of those same pillars, but in ways that are meaningful to you as the camper versus you, the person who's just going to like throw down a lot of money towards something that's a high-end, extreme luxury experience that just a few people have. So your idea of luxury and what a wellness experience could be very different than someone else's, but just as valid.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
And
Thank
I
you,
could
Cindy.
say too that, go ahead, Oksana.
Well, I wanted to also add a little bit because wellness is inherently subjective. So we cover with certification and our wellness standards, we cover a wide range. Just like Cindy said, it can be a small inn and a very down-to-earth property with not very expensive cost, right? But it also can be a very luxury experience. So it really, truly affects every type of property as long as the wellness experience is the core of their presence. So yes, thank you, Cindy, for that.
And I'll just say one thing about, you know, and we talk a little bit about this in the course, but the traditional luxury versus a more purposeful luxury, you know, what people are looking for, as we've talked about here, are different things, but the wellness experience is what is at the core of what we hope people will find when they're going to a WITT property. And it's steering away from that need for it to only be available in luxury properties, because that isn't the case. And like Oksana said, luxury can also mean something different to each individual. So we go into that a little bit more, but I thought it was important to point that out. And there has been that shift too. I was just last week at the iSpa conference, and this came up, the specific topic came up, about, you know, it doesn't have to be all about the expensive ornate furnishings, where design still plays a role and is very important and key to the wellness experience. It does not have to mean that it's something that is not reachable for people to be a part of.
Love that. And so you had mentioned the certification program. So I would like to talk about that a little bit more. It's called the WITT Wellness Foundations course, so WITT 101. Can you speak a little bit more about this certification program? What is it? You know, why did you start it? What can participants expect from taking it? Why should they sign up for it? Like, who is this for?
Of course. So because of what we've been talking about, this tremendous shift within the industry, that there's so many people seeking wellness when they travel, we thought it was important to also educate the industry that is supporting our travelers. So travel advisors, architects, designers, travel writers, you know, entrepreneurs and content creators, putting the information out there. We really felt like we should have kind of a pathway to either help, you know, develop a career within wellness, or at least enhance what you're currently doing and be able to provide wellness with confidence, so that you can offer what what people are looking for within the industry. So the wellness specialist designation really does help to, elevate your brand, because you will have that seal that you can always use to promote. And the course itself covers into more depth about each pillars and how they play into the certification of the hotels and resorts. Within the course itself, as I mentioned, we cover, and I'll say it again, but healthy eating, holistic healing, nature, movement, and that local impact, which also incorporates sustainability. We cover all 5 of those. And then we also really look at some of the case studies for those properties that are already WITT certified. So you can see what some of those properties are offering and how that fits in. Excuse me. We also, it's a foundational course. So we're working on some advanced courses that will provide you with more in-depth knowledge about how to perhaps set up itineraries as a travel advisor, etc. However, this introductory really gives you a strong understanding of the WITT standards, what the criteria are that these proprietary standards are based on, and just how we go through that process. One thing I do want to make clear, because we've said certification, we do certify hotels and resorts for, their WITT seal. And then we have our wellness specialist certification, which is through this course.
Very separate things.
Two separate, exactly. And I just wanted to make sure that that's clear to everyone listening, because it's a key, important factor for this.
Basically, let's say I'm a travel advisor and I am, I'm selling trips and tours and putting together customized itineraries for people. And I have some clients, or I'm just in general looking to put more wellness focused experiences together, or just, just incorporate it more into my business. Essentially enrolling in this course. So I'm on the page now. Elevate your career in wellness, travel, and hospitality with education. Unlock new opportunities by becoming a WITT wellness specialist. So you're enrolling in this. You're essentially taking this course, and when you go through all the material and you essentially graduate the course, you're receiving kind of your own seal as a specialist. Is that correct?
Correct. And it will say wellness specialist, and that's the designation, so that it's separate from what the hotels and resorts are receiving.
So essentially you become an expert in a bit more of an expert in the wellness sector as an entrepreneur, as an architect, as a content creator, even, to be talking about this more and be recommending, hotels, properties, and things like that.
And if I can just when you graduate, you receive a digital badge and you receive a certificate. So those are credentials that you can also post on your website and things of that nature, and kind of using your own promotional and marketing materials, letting people know that this is a specialty area that you have an expertise in.
Okay. So it's that like industry recognition.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. And with the WITT branding, because it ties into the WITT seal that the hotels are receiving, then the consumer will know kind of, the connection, because the introductory course is, it really covers what WITT stands for, which are those 5 pillars. So it's your intro into that and understanding behind how we go about evaluating these properties, so that you can then speak to those with confidence.
Beautiful. And I also wanted to ask you about like opportunities associated with this. So I saw that, by joining the movement in transformative travel experiences, you have the chance to become a WITT independent wellness auditor. What does that mean?
Yes. So once you've completed the course, you can apply to become a WITT auditor. And what is exciting is we have a training coming up at the end of this month, March 27th and 28th. So if you do decide to join the course and are able to complete it by that time, we can welcome you into our auditor training. Now, our auditor training goes more in depth. It's the very extensive training that covers the entire process on how to evaluate a property for WITT certification. So basically, you are going out to properties we would send you to in your regional area, and you, with our guidelines and with that training, you are then able to go through, you stay at the property, you do experiences based on what, we tell you is part of that evaluation process. You are there as anonymously, so you're there as a guest going through this process, and then we do have 2 different types of forms that you need to complete. And then again, it's based on a sensory framework, so we're not just focusing on checklists that we're saying yes, no, they have this, they have this piece of equipment, they have that. It's really going deeper in to the experience overall, which of course Oxana spoke to as well, and the authenticity of the programming that they're providing and the opportunities that they offer at their hotels and resorts. So this is a very exciting opportunity. It is part of, if you take the course, you, as long as you send an email and apply and let us know that you are interested in becoming an auditor, we will invite you to the training, and then we will take the next step from there.
So when does that training happen, or is that on a rolling basis? Sorry if I missed that.
No, that's okay. There is one happening March 27th and 28th. So that is in just under 2 weeks, I think, at this point.
Okay.
And that is, 12 o'clock Eastern time. And it's about 2 to 2.5 hours each day. It's currently a live training virtually. So we would send you an invite to join the call, and we will take you through that training. Now, this will be happening on an ongoing basis. So certainly if you aren't able to join this training that's happening this month, we have not posted dates yet, but there will be upcoming dates.
I think we're experiencing Mercury retrograde quite a bit right now.
Yes, we are. I just froze. Are you there, Lauren?
Yes, I lost you for a second, but I got the gist. And
Okay.
to kind of follow up on that in terms of, okay, so first of all, I want to make sure everybody, who's here today and who listens to this recording later knows that, I dropped the link. I dropped the link directly in the chat of where you can sign up for the one-on-one course, for the WITT Wellness Foundation one-on-one course. So it's normally, if I'm correct, about $399 for the course, but we have it exclusively offered for a discount for Wanderful members using a special sign-up code Wanderful 2025. So I dropped that in the chat. So let's say we have some travelers here today, some members here today who want to enroll in the course. They sign up, they're enrolled. They would have to complete the course and then to apply for the auditor training. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So step 1, enroll in the course, and then there's the opportunity to become a WITT independent wellness auditor.
Yes, and I do see a question in the chat, and there is no cost to taking currently our auditor training. It's currently inclusive of the foundation's course cost. So you sign up for the foundation's course, you go through that piece, and then we'll invite you to training. There's no additional cost there. And then the auditing process is it's an independent, but it is a paid opportunity.
Amazing. And if someone was to enroll in the course, can you give us a little inside look on what they can expect in terms of, how much time is this a certain amount of time, or how much time they should dedicate to the course? I'm sure that's provided when you go to the link and check it out, but I was just wondering if you could speak to that a bit.
Absolutely. We do have it listed as taking about 10 hours. However, if you do have background in wellness, or you have, some kind of, sorry, I'm getting stuck, but if you have a little bit of background, it probably won't take you quite as long. There's a lot of great information in there, but we kept the quizzes, really very simple in this beginning intro course, just to ensure that, you're gaining the valuable information. So, like I said, about 10 hours, give or take. You can certainly do it in less if you are an experienced wellness, whatever enthusiast, or if you've been in the industry.
Amazing. So I went ahead and dropped that in the chat, but we'll make sure that we send this out to the broader Wanderful community as well, because I know that this, we're talking about how much the industry is booming and wellness tourism is just everywhere. Okay. I see that we have another question in the chat, and actually I think we have about 15 minutes left of our live stream, and I was going to kind of open up questions. So maybe we can address this one. Would you be open to having members and auditors of various accessibility backgrounds, i.e. I am an amputee with sensory sensitivities and specialize in accessible travel?
Absolutely. I think this is open and inclusive, and I'd love Oxana to jump in.
Yes, absolutely. Because we do speak to every auditor or whoever is applying, so we will discuss all the details. And yes, we welcome everyone. There's no restriction at all, but we will have to have a personal conversation and understand the scope, right, of what it would inquire to have the on-site audit performed. So absolutely, I would say yes to that.
Amazing. And I see some other members typing questions right now, or typing in the chat, but before kind of open up the floor to more questions, I just kind of wanted to ask the three of you if there was anything else you wanted, the Wanderful audience to know about WITT, about, the wellness and travel and tourism space, before we kind of get into more questions.
Well, I could just add a little bit, like as a summary, to maybe inspire the listeners that, like, wellness in travel and tourism, real mission is just to ensure that wellness tourism as a whole evolves with integrity, inclusivity, authenticity, sustainability. So that's kind of our mission, to move this forward. And we utilize certification and now education to do that. Because as Jen was lovely and wonderfully talking earlier about kind of the history, a little bit of a history of wellness travel. Before, it was just for luxury. Right now, it's an essential part of our life. And that's our mission, is to make it accessible, to make it authentic, and make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, but also of the land where we are, the nature. So that's kind of what I wanted to make it very clear, I guess.
And we certainly love that at Wanderful, as far as values aligning. So we love what you're doing. Okay, we have another question in the chat about what are some of the resorts you have certified. So that could be fun, just to maybe talk about a couple of properties that have popped into your mind.
I can talk about it a little bit, yeah. Well, we do have a directory on our website, and it lists all of them, but I can point out a couple. For example, one of my personal favorites is Ojai Inn in California, and the property is pretty much covers all the 5 pillars that we have. I enjoy their presence and what they do. They're very authentic in what they do. We also have, let's say, 124 on Queen from Canada. They've been amazing at overall wellness, holistic healing, but they're in Canada. They actually have an amazing, they advertise their WITT certification in very broadly, and we pioneer that and advocate for that. Another property is Outer Camp in upstate New York. People that love more kind of down-to-earth, family-oriented or friends-oriented experience in nature, that's beautiful. We have Golden Door in California as well. This is more program-oriented. We do have a number of Four Seasons hotels for those that more enjoy kind of a luxury experience. That's also on the list. I'm trying to think what else. Anything else I'm missing, Jen? Can you think of anything, of any properties?
Sure. Since I was just in Colorado, we do have Garden of the Gods, which is in Colorado Springs, which is stunning. And, you know, you talk about nature and access to nature. I was able to go hiking in the Garden of the Gods park, which is right there, and do a meditation during that hike. So that's a great example. And also the Broadmoor, which hosted the iSpa conference. And they have, what's interesting about their property, they have a number of outdoor adventure experiences that I haven't really seen before. And they even have these little satellite properties that people can stay in that specific area to do these outdoor adventures. So that's another two right there. Cindy, any additional we're not thinking of at the moment?
We have new ones that we highlighted different times, but I love the diversity of the ones that you just mentioned. So probably from the much higher end luxury to the auto camps of the world, and yet they all can achieve certification because they do hit the marks on what we're looking for. So I just think is a quick example of the kind of properties we are certifying. It's an open-minded view to how we appeal to those different sensitivities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I just wanted to add, some of them do provide wellness programs, right? Like kind of a destination type retreats where you go and immerse yourself in, you know, yoga program or detox program. And some properties, hotels, resorts, they're simply just, you know, kind of a regular type of property, but the wellness is part of their core. So it can be the for primary traveler who actually wants that deep experience of wellness with programs and longer stays. And then secondary traveler is where you want to pretty much, just like what Jen did, she went for work, but she incorporated the hike and meditation. So we have, you know, wide spectrum of properties where you, as a primary wellness advocate, and as a secondary where you travel with your family or visits or business, and you still want to maintain your well-being.
I love that spectrum and how you really can incorporate it on any level. And I just wanted to point out that I also dropped the directory that the WITT team just mentioned in the chat as well, and we'll make sure that's available for the recording, just so you can start to check out some of these WITT certified properties, as well as that 101 Foundations course that we linked to, and the Wanderful members have that special discount when signing up using our code. And is there any other questions from our participants live with us?
So I have a comment.
Please.
I just want to, because we've been talking so much about authenticity, and you know what we try to do is ensure that the wellness experiences are grounded in evidence-based practices. And you know, the Global Wellness Institute has done so much research, and they post on their website, you know, connections to papers or studies that were done, so that we can ensure too that what's being offered truly is an evidence-based practice. Because a lot of people may have some skepticism about, well, what is wellness really? Is it really helping me? So we really try to ensure that what we are, you know, certifying is evidence-based and it's very important to the brand too.
Beautiful. And I see another question just came through the chat from Beth. How long will the discount code be valid for our community?
So as of right now, I
would say for the next month. Yeah, we're offering it for the next month
Okay.
to extend that cost. So yes, that's the decision for now. Yes.
Okay.
So discount will be valid until mid-April. I would say, yeah, 19.
Great. And we can get the exact date from you and make sure we post that in the community so the members know that, there's a specific time when they can access it.
Yes.
And yeah, any other kind of I know we have about 6 to 5-ish, 6-ish minutes left. If you have any additional, points or comments that you want to make about WITT, and to anybody that's on the call or on the live stream, if there's any other questions, we still have a little bit of time to answer that.
I'll just chime in because I have a content creator side hustle. And for me, knowing that there's a group that I could look to for news and things like that, that's reliable, means a lot to me personally, because even, I think I might be a little bit savvy about stuff that's on socials and things like that, but obviously there's a lot of things that aren't. So I appreciate being able to go to it, not as a company person, but as somebody who's looking to get information, perhaps post my own content that I can rely on, because this WITT is so much about authenticity. When Jen mentioned GWI, they're also in that same space. So to me, it's kind of fostering a network of groups that are in that same kind of space that you can rely on. So I feel comfortable that whatever I read or glean from them or pick up from these two organizations, I'd feel comfortable putting out for my own self in terms of I'm giving valid information. And I don't want to be someone who's perceived as putting out wrong information or something. That's just important to me. So I like that as a personal resource for me as well in that respect.
Absolutely. And I guess one more thing I want to mention in the final minutes here is we're very excited to be welcoming WITT to WITS in about 2-ish months. WITT is going to be joining us and taking care of our wellness zone for members. So that's going to be really exciting. And I think, this is typically, our summit is typically geared towards content creators, influencers, bloggers, travel entrepreneurs. So those of you who are watching, joining, if you're coming to WITS, they will be there. A great place to connect with the WITT team, learn more about, getting involved, and that's going to be really exciting.
And I'll say too, if anyone has any other questions about the course before they sign up, after they leave, use that website link and go to contact us and ask us any questions. So if there's anything that you want to know or have any follow-up questions, feel free to get in touch with us directly through that. And we're happy to kind of guide you through anything to help you get started or whatnot.
Should they use the general inquiries email, hello@wittcertified.com? Is that the best address to use?
I think we also have one directly for the course that goes to Jen. Is it education?
It's education@wittcertified.com.
Yeah.
It should be on there. It should be on the homepage. Would you
Okay.
like me to type it in, or?
Yeah, do you want to drop it in the chat just so they have it in case, they want
Absolutely.
to reach out with any questions?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And
Well, I want to thank, oh yeah, please.
No, I just wanted to just say WITT is pretty much a credible source for all the either it's hotels or either it's the staff, either it's the travel agents or travelers. It's that's why we created the auditing and very thorough standards and criteria, is because we wanted it to be very credible and that source that someone can really rely upon. So that's very important for us. That's it.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank the three of you so much for joining us today, having us learn more about, wellness tourism in general, but all the work that you're doing at WITT. I think this was a great conversation with so many great tidbits to learn. I just want to thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. It's been so much fun.
Thank
We all
you.
got
Yes.
online.
I'm glad we all made it on. It all worked out. And
Yes.
again, we're going to have this recorded, so anybody who missed it is going to be able to watch this back and gather all the awesome stuff we talked about today. So yeah, we're just about out of time. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. And thank you, three ladies. This was great. And we will see you in New York City at WITT in about 2 months.
Yes.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
so
Thank you,
much,
Lauren.
Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
Yep.
You too. Take
Okay.
care.
Bye. Take care.